All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Go Wellness Practice Accelerator Challenges. This is your host of the evening, Kate Archibald, and I am really excited to be with everyone this wonderful July afternoon. And we got the amazing Annie Asher with us today. Annie, how's it going?
Oh, it's going so well. How's everybody doing?
Awesome. And Shawnee is with us as well. How are you doing, Shawnee?
Doing great.
Killer. Well, I know we have a lot of stuff coming up. Any big announcements from you?
We've got session 3, the Creativity in Medicine, September 16th and 17th. And we've got a dreamy location we're cooking up. I won't confirm it yet, but if you like wilderness and magical things and like high vibrations,
Hot Springs.
a short 40-minute drive from Salt Lake City, be there or be square. It's going to be delightful. So I will be sending out more information on that shortly. We are going to be preparing a neat little summer innovation series. It's kind of geared towards some new clients, but there's going to be some really beautiful information for current clients too. So it's kind of for everybody, just to kind of refresh, get back in line with your mission and your purpose in this medicine. So I'll send you info on that too. And I think that's all I've got for announcements for today.
Awesome. Thank you, Annie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got Regan Archibald here with us. Regan, what's going on?
Hey, just having a good day, and I'm excited for everything we've got going on. We're going to talk about some great things today. We're going to talk a little bit about, looking at some of the ways you can create some excitement and motivation around different peptides, and how you can use science as a portal, and education as a portal to massive breakthroughs with your patients. So Dan, thoughts on that? I was going to talk about BPC, the studies there, ARA-290, and then communicating those in a way that's really simplified and with our new timeless health model.
No,
anything you want to bring up?
No, I mean, I think I was on a long consultation with the family of this kid who's got like some chronic fatigue issues and some encephalomyelitis, and we were talking about peptides the entire time. It's hard not to look at the research on peptides and not be excited about it. Like, I still get excited about the ones that we've been using for a while, like BPC,
Right.
We had that text string the other day when one of our friends was asking about, how do you, what can you use for gastroparesis? And, there's research that BPC actually helps heal the enteric nervous system. And then you name some other peptides, but man, I'm just getting excited talking about it. And that's not me being facetious. Like, there's so many exciting applications for the peptides,
It's amazing. And I'll share the email I just got. Says, hi, Regan, the KPV and BPC-157 are working. I've got no more bloody stools, and my stools are actually normal. This is a patient that's got ulcerative colitis. And he says, the last 3 or 4 months, I've been having trouble with an erection, and he goes into some more details that I won't share, but I have a new girlfriend and that I'm wild about, but I need some peptides. So he's got another issue, that he's like, okay, what can we do for sexual function? So it's actually super exciting as you look at this. And I think that's one of the things that, I wanted to talk about today, is just looking at the excitement that happens in medicine when you're innovating and when you're looking at new things. Is that excitement is contagious, and people catch on to it. And then, in your consult, Dan, what you're finding is, you're helping people get clear on a bigger future for themselves. But then the other thing that's happening is you're getting an incredible insight on your excitement around peptides, because you're sharing it. Have you noticed that, like, multiplication?
Yeah, man, it's crazy because, I'll get it. I think one of the things that adds to that, instead of having to have this like creativity to then create excitement is trying the peptides yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you talk about it, or seeing, like, even you talking about this patient, because we've talked about that before. We had a patient that has ulcerative colitis as well, and she's been on BPC for a year. This is the first time in 18 years she hasn't had mucus and blood in her stool. It's crazy. And
18 years.
18 years. And that's so exciting. We had ran the we ran a Cyrex panel against all the antibodies of her intestinal tract, and we reran it to see where they were. And she did diet and lifestyle changes. I mean, she's a little bit more lenient with her diet now. She has 0 antibodies popping up, on her labs.
That's awesome.
And the only long-term thing has been BPC-157.
Man. Well, and BPC, everyone may be like, oh, I've heard all about BPC-157, but actually, let me share. I'll share my screen here so you guys can just look at some of the implications, and then my goal is to get you so excited about it that you start realizing, like, oh, actually, there's pathways that BPC works on besides just the gut, and oh yeah, it works on the joints, and it works on so many different areas. So we'll go right here. So first of all, what happens with vascular formation? If somebody, BPC can do vascularity, I mean, what problems can be solved? I think sarcopenia. I even think like cardiovascular health. Anything come to mind to you?
Well, anytime you have damage and you're regrowing new tissue, right, just getting the new blood flow to it, man, incredible, right? The long-term gut, we've talked about that, but also not only keeping the muscle mass that you do have, but increasing it in muscle density.
There you go. And then the better your muscle health is, it takes pressure off the joints. Insulin resistance pretty much goes away if you've got the right amount of muscle mass. As far as hormones go, your hormones stay more regulated. I mean, it's one of the best things you can do for your body. How about stimulates nitric oxide production? I think of oxytocin. I think of stuffy dudes that, we're stressed out. We're trying to, forage and hunt for our families, and then our heart gets closed down. But I think heart opening, because oxytocin also stimulates nitric oxide production. Anything come to mind for you?
I think of all the endothelial lining, right? So, we'll see endothelial dysfunction, but something to remember is every barrier, blood-brain barrier, gut barrier, that's all, endothelial. So anytime you have nitric oxide, you're improving all of those barriers, right?
Well, and it's amazing. Even nitric oxide production is like your gateway for BDNF. And so if you want, better thought processes, better brain function, all of those. So we'll go to the next one. Stimulates angiogenic cytokines, VEGF, FGF, TGF beta. I mean, I think of that and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this means we're going to get, less inflammation. We're going to get tissue recovery. We're going to have the right environment where you can get stem cell proliferation. Regeneration would be the singular word I'd use. What comes to mind for you, Dan?
Well, that immediately makes me go back to the combination of the issues with translocation of bacteria and all those arthritic joints. And the moment you take somebody who has, like an ulcerative colitis patient that may also be an RA patient, now you have this, triple fold effect where not only are you stimulating the joints to heal, but you're also getting better circulation in there, and you're closing up and healing the gut at the same time where some of that, arthritic bacteria is actually coming from.
That's awesome. And if you think about that, the beautiful thing about BPC-157 is it's naturally occurring in our patients' bodies. And so, this is the peptide. I have a new mindset and a new kind of thinking tool. And It's basically like removing risk or to never do wrong with your treatment. I look at peptides, I'm like, well, the beautiful thing about BPC is it treats so many different areas. You can just kind of throw it at everybody and they'll be fine. It's oral, you can do transdermal, you can do topical, you can do, the transdermal, I mean, iontophoresis. And then you can also do injections and it all works. So phenomenal things, works on the GI tract, all these areas, cornea, blood vessels, bones, very versatile, wound healing. So yeah, BPC is amazing. And I always think about that study where they did the tube ligation of hepatic portal vein in rats, and one group of rats, they got the vein, they got the wound, but no BPC-157 in their water. The other group got the BPC. The group with no BPC died within like 7 days. And then the group with the BPC, basically started to recover after a few days. And by day 7 to 14, they were all completely healed. So pretty interesting. Once again, if you treat rats, it's a really powerful combination.
Well, that hepatic portal, it's such a critical piece with SIBO, fatty liver disease, and the disruption between the gut and the liver. Man, that's why it's like BPC is kind of a no-brainer when we start people on their digestive healing process. It's crazy.
So let's, so BPC, hopefully you guys are looking at this and you're like, this is amazing. Let's talk about another amazing peptide. And this was shared by me, by Dan. All good things in my life come from Dan. So Dan was like, hey, are you using this for neuropathy? I'm like, ARA-290. And then, start looking it up and it's like, holy smokes, talk about a pleiotropic peptide. And if you guys haven't tried this one out, this is, for me, one of my favorite peptides historically has always been like CJC-1295 or tesamorelin, these growth hormone secretagogues, just because you feel so good on them. I love IGF-1. But this ARA-290 has been probably, this might be my very favorite peptide because of the endurance with mountain biking. So I'm creating this, I've got my tool that I released to you guys, the Fitness 50 at age 100 that I did with Dan Sullivan. I'm creating another one that's your most enjoyable activities. And mountain biking is one of my very favorites. And any peptide that can help me stay on my mountain bike longer, recover faster, get better times, I'm all over it. And this was the one that has done it for endurance like no other peptide. So if you think of ARA-290, one of the things you can think about is it's a pain peptide. So what comes to mind for you with ARA-290, Dan?
All that C fiber, the small nerve fiber damage, inflammation, whether it's like toxicity, and also the MS. This is awesome MS.
Because the myelin sheath, and that's where those C fibers are, is right around that kind of that fat tissue around the nerves that provides as an insulator. And with MS, Dan, I think right now ARA-290 is in phase 2 trials for diabetic neuropathy, neuropathic pain, sarcoidosis, and RA. And I bet you this will be actually, if you did a Google search, and maybe someone out there, in the chat box could just do a quick Google search on MS and ARA-290. I swear I've seen something. Have you seen any clinical trials going on with it, Dan?
I haven't, and I've been wondering if we're going to see something, because it helps with the diabetic pathway of the neuropathy. I've been wondering if we're going to see any intranasal AR-290 studies.
Well, that is great. That's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
So sarcoidosis, here's a study where they're actually finding that ARA-290, once again, and if you think of phase 1 in clinical trials, it's like, is it safe? Phase 2, is it effective? And then phase 3, is it more effective and safer than the current treatment options. So,
hey everybody, Regan Archibald here. I hope you enjoyed the Go Wellness show and maybe learned a couple things you could apply to your practice. If you're a healthcare entrepreneur who wants to work in an academic think tank with like-minded humans who are just like you, looking to provide better service, better quality of care for your patients, reach us at info@gowellness.com and we're happy to do a free practice analysis for you.